Guys, welcome. How are you doing? We are back. Sdho 100, I believe. Wow, I can't believe 100. That is a lot. You know, it's not just getting on and talking, but it's, the editing and putting together of the video, which isn't that challenging, and I don't really do much editing. Sometimes I'll chop some things out if it's a little bit too crazy, as sometimes I can get a little crazy on here. But I'm happy to get on and hang out with you guys, and I want to design a very nice, relaxing sound. And then after that, I'd like to talk about something that I've been talking about a lot on here lately. Kind of about the future, why you should be excited about it, AI, robotics, automation, and why that's a good thing, and it will completely change our society for the better, and why you should be excited, And if your first thought is oh my God, it's going to take my job, well, it's going to take everyone's job. And the CEO of Anthropic, a top AI company, was oh, AI is going to do every job better than every human in 3 years, which might be sooner. That's a good thing, because when everyone loses their job to AI, robotics, automation, then, it's a level playing field. And then we will transition the economy, which is a scarcity-based economy, which is ridiculous because all of us who are in the, spiritual community, and other communities, we know that scarcity is more of a mindset that's been enforced on us culturally, interwoven, oh, there's so much scarcity, and then you look around and there's a couple people who own everything in the world, and you're okay, well, and so we'll be moving from the age of scarcity to the age of abundance, and well, I've got a lot of things to say about a lot of that, and why you should be excited, because very soon, I would think within the next 5 years, there's not going to be any jobs. People are just going to be artists. They're going to be just doing whatever makes their heart sing with joy. And it's really crazy because there'll be kids in their kids, teenagers, they'll be asking us questions. They'll be you mean there was a time when you just did things you didn't like all day because you had to survive, so you traded your time for survival so you could meet your survival needs, and you'll be yeah, dude, it was insane. And they're well, why wasn't everyone talking about that? And you'd be well, I was. No one else was. And I find it's all these thoughts are bubbling to the surface. Maybe I should just be talking about this stuff. Maybe I should just be on video talking about these things. And I don't need to do any of the Ableton things anymore but I like it because I think in this new age, AI is going to be able to create music instantly. Well, it already is. Music, art, whatever. But there's something to be said about creating. You know what I mean? Even if it takes I don't know, a couple days to finish your painting, it's a good experience. I also want to talk about creativity as well, and how you almost have to it's almost it doesn't come from you, it comes from the cosmic consciousness. And you have to let it come in, and any attempt to control it is just going to make it not come in, and how these different considerations can shed light to other forms of thinking that might help us as we evolve consciously, spiritually, and technologically. You know what I was be saying. So we got a lot of good things to talk about, to think about, to feel good about, because I think one of the things that I'm supposed to do, and again, everything's always changing, kind of going back to that creativity thing. If you think you want to trap it in a box, you can't. Did I think that I would want to be talking about these things? I would have had no idea. But if I blocked it off and said, oh, you're only the Ableton music guy, and I was denying the fact that like there were other things that were coming through me that I wanted to talk about, well, I would be doing myself and all of you a major disservice. So I'm thinking we should get like a good sound. Let's make a sound in Ableton, and it sounds really good, and that will like set the tone, no pun intended, for a nice talk about the future and how you should be excited about it. Because I feel like when people talk about these things, about the future and AI and all of that, it's a lot of like doom and gloom. Well, not always, not from everybody, but like I actually really think it's like really, really good. Really, really good. And you should be excited for it. I'm excited for it. Mate, why don't you just start talking about it then and shit? Like, yo, forget the... Actually, no, do the Ableton. That would be good. That's why I'm here. Okay, keep going. Well, anyways, yeah, we're going to create a nice sound. And then we're going to talk. And I'll probably talk while I'm creating the sound, because I talk a whole lot. I'm a Gemini. I've got a lot of Gemini energy in my chart, which I do believe it's because I wanted to be a talker on this planet. And to be honest with you, I used to think that that was like a great thing, but I feel like I would, if I didn't have the Gemini energy, I feel like I would probably be more evolved and enlightened by now, because I've got all this shit going on in my head. It's like harder to knock it all out and get to enlightenment, because I've anyways, I'm gonna probably cut that part out. But anyways, how was your day? How was your week? How are you doing? It's like late January. I think the last time I got in recorded was like this time of December, even though the video came out I think like 2.5 weeks ago. I didn't like put it up right away, so it's been some time. It's been a month since I was sitting talking on the last one, so I'll have more things to say. And how are you doing? How was your day? I'll listen. If you hear those pop noises, it's my pudgy doggy chomping on this little bone that I got him, and he's chewing. He could just chew it over. You want to chew it over here, Twinkie? Get on the camera, Twinkie. That's okay. Just go to your chomping. So I want to create a sound. I think I'm going to use operator, because I think I want some white noise in there, and then I want to add some tones, and maybe I'll add something else. Now all I've got is this operator right now, and so I need a limit so it doesn't get crazy. I'm gonna go into the global tab, and I'm going to change the algorithm. This is the default one. As you people might know, that's like all FM, like the one on top modulates the other. But I don't want that. I kind of want them all to come out. I'm going to go to this one, which means you hear A, you hear B, you hear C, and then D will modulate C. Because I don't want anything to modulate A, which is going to be white noise. I'm going to take the filter down, because white noise is all of the frequencies. Doesn't matter which note you click. Because I want like a white noise, brown noise kind of a ting. Gonna legato it, click play, And I don't know if I want to do this yet. And I'm going to go to B, and I'm going to click Fixed. And I think I might like 100 hertz. If I turn it up, will I hear it, or will I have to restart it? Hear that? I'm gonna go get the LFO, map it to the level. No. Take down the depth. Take down the rate. I want there to be some like I'm gonna take the white noise down. And I'm going to put the offset up so I move this up more. The depth I'm gonna take down a little bit. Too much depth, I think. I just want there to be, and then I think what I want to do, I also want to map this here. Adjusting the master volume. Play with the feel. Oh. Turns out I don't like that. Here's why. So, I actually think it might be more beneficial if I'm grouping it. I would rather be able to have more fine-tuned control, not try to do it all within this like architecture, and rather have like two of these, where like one of these was just the white noise and then one of these was just the tone. I've realized that's not what I want to do, and I actually would rather do something different, and I'd rather challenge myself to make a different sound. I might stack some stuff. Maybe let's see what collision can give us. And I'm going to group it. Collision. And I'm going to create a chain. Just turn it off. Might add something in there. I want like a long note. And, yeah. So, by the way, what version of Ableton Live are you guys using? Using the new one, Ableton Live 12? I'll be honest, I may buy that at some point. I think I might have like a new Ableton Renaissance on my hands, because I don't really use it that much anymore. Like I've kind of shifted over more towards like digital art. And, but like I have a backlog of like hundreds, maybe even over 1,000 projects that I haven't finished, that I would just open up one day, like bloop, like just bring in like a really nice pattern or sound, and like never open up anymore. And I'm like, yo, I should like put that into music, or render it out to music so I can like put them in these videos, art projects that I do. I've got more music. And so I've been doing some of that, and I think I might get excited about, making music and stuff again. Because a lot of times I'm really just doing it to come on and like talk and hang out with you guys in this podcast. Oh my God, SDHO 100. Wait, Chonky, come over here, Tongo. Come over here, Tongo. He's just staring at me like, He's like, I don't know what to do. I'm so comfy right now. I don't know if I should leave, keep chewing on this bony, or go over to you. That's what go for Tungu. Let's go. So how you doing? Okay, let's get a nice sound, shall we? I don't want C. I want one below. I think I'll do an 8-bar clip. Look, let go so. It's on the B. Maybe I'll do one lower. Mate. One lower. Wonderful. Oh, not good, mate. Not good, mate. Let's see. Kind of punchy. What if we put this pitch envelope on? Yo, mate, that sound awful. Mate, that sound awful. Well, let's play with the time parameter. Still kind of sounds awful, actually. I'm hearing it distort, and it's weird because like it's not distorting on the metering, but it's distorting in my headphones. And because it's not clipping, I'm like, why is it doing the distorting? That's like kind of making me be like, that's fucked, mate. That's fucked. Let's click play. I want it to just ring. I'm gonna click stop. Let's go to play. Okay. Got an idea. Let's get an audio track, go to resampling. Okay, so I want both of these to be on. If you're not able to do that, you can click command and click, but I'm on a Mac, so I don't know what command is in like Windows PC land. Frankly, I don't want to know. Oh, look, 333. Dude, I've been seeing so many of the angel numbers. I've been seeing them my whole life, but it was crazy today. Like I was in this drive-through today, and this old like minivan had like a 111, you know, like 1111 on the license plate. And I'm like, damn, like you were the only one who thought to get 1111 on it. You know, that's crazy. And then I looked at and then as I was waiting for my food, I then looked at the clock, and the clock said 11:11, and I was like, oh my God, what are the chances? And then I got my food and I started driving and pulling away. And then the podcast I was listening to said like 111111, like 6 ones. And I was like, that's insane. But the crazy thing is it wasn't even that big of a deal to me, because like I've been seeing that stuff for years, me friend. So it wasn't even that crazy. I'm not liking Collision. We're done with it. This is all I wanted, was this. Let's get a MIDI track. Simpler, sampler, I don't know, maybe sampler, it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna link. Loop. Mate? What? If you're sick of it not, like doing that, that's what's called like exclusive ARM. So you would just go into record warp, and then you would check either of these off if you don't want that. Otherwise, you can just simply command click, as I was saying. It's a song off our first record. Most people don't know it. Where's that from? You know what we gotta do next? Give it some release. I haven't been doing a whole lot of work with samplers. But as I've been opening up some of these projects, maybe that's what I should do. I found out that I'm getting really sick of like the default blank Ableton project. There's a couple schools of thought when you're like making music, especially in a DAW like Ableton. And one of the schools of thoughts is that when you sit down to work, you might want to know like what type of work you're trying to do. And when like you guys hang out with me, we make sounds and do things, it's always starting from nothing, right? Which can be very intimidating, the default blank canvas, let's say. Now, that's very different than if you already have a project and you have multiple tracks, you've got things on the arrangement, maybe it's just a bunch of loops that you've created. That's like starting from something. That's like the intermediate, that's like the middle phase. It's not the beginning, but it's more the middle. And then you have the phase where you have everything and you're trying to finish. So it's like those different things and knowing where that is. And I feel like right now for me, I don't want anything to do with like blank canvas. I also found that I don't have I'm like zero interested in like making melodies or making patterns. I feel like all I want to do is either take something that already exists and play with it, like these projects, all these Ableton projects that I have that I've like haven't opened up in like maybe years, and like doing things with it. Almost like I want like source material to like be there and then do things with it. And some of that involves sampling, like taking a thing that's there that already exists, and doing things with it. So maybe I open up something, and by the way, I'm saying all of this just to give you creative ideas. Maybe you're stuck, and that's something I also do want to talk about. But first, I want something playing because I want to hear some stuff. I don't like that it's like clicking over like that, but that's because it's looping over and there's like a big release. I don't want that click, so we're gonna do crossfade. Sometimes if you're not getting the right sound, it might, and I don't know if this is with like Simpla, but like sampler, definitely. You might want to like stop it, then start it again. Now, it was too abrasive when it was like a little click, so I want to give it a little bit of an attack. Let's play with the filter. What if we gave it like a filter amount? Oh, I did not like when it clicked over. See what it sounds like when it clicks over? Let me know when it gets in the loop, that's what I meant to say. Mate. By the way, are you allowed to say mate if you're not from like England or Australia or something? What if like all of us dirty blokes from the USA just started saying mate all the time? I don't think anyone does. But like when you watch like nothing but YouTube and the majority of the people you listen to are from like England or Australia or South Africa, you know, I mean, you're gonna just start like talking like them, you know? Now I kind of like how this sounds, but I want to like blur it and smooth it. So how do you add blur? How do you add blur? I don't mind it kind of like pumping and flumping like this. That ain't bad. How do I add blur? Someone was like, hey mate, yo, drop that reverb up on chair. Yeah, reverb is good, but like, it has that effect, but when the sound is like constantly playing, it like kind of muddies things and doesn't really do what you would want, but let's do it anyway. Turning it off is the same as taking the dry wet to 0. Now it got like quieter, so we could just do that. Ooh, this sounds nice, almost like it's like a gong or like a... But it sounds kinda muddy. Might want to play with these, which is why I'm doing that. Maybe too wet. I was gonna say something after that, and then I figured I probably shouldn't. I kinda like the way this sounds, actually. Mate, get off there, mate. I didn't like that, it just clicked over. I hated that. Mate, why is it doing that? Don't ever do that, mate. Now let's move this. It's kind of subdued. No, don't click over. I think it's clicking over. Audio dropouts. Oh my god. Thought we were done with these. Why would you do that to me, mate? Why would you do that to me? Well, I actually got a new laptop a couple months ago, actually. I haven't like started using it for recording, but now I'm gonna have to because it did some of those audio dropouts the last time. I don't know, man. I you know, like, what, mate? Mate. Why are you fucking clicking like that? I gave you an attack. You're not supposed to be doing that, mate. Let's see. Alright, you know, now I'm getting pissed. Now I'm getting pissed. Let's put a delay up on you. Normally a delay will kind of smooth some of that. That's why, like, you normally would probably rather... Well, if this doesn't do it because the delay will click that shit, if it doesn't do it, you just make the MIDI clip longer. So we'll see. It's all about trial and error. It's about the trials and the tribulations, man. Let's see. Let's see what happens when I do it. God. Let's move it back to here. Let's see. Does that do it? All right. Now you're really getting me mad. Okay. So, well, because we're working in the MIDI realm, we could make this 128 or more. Now we're not going to have that problem, because before we had 8 bars, right? But now we have 120. So see what happens when it gets to 9. It'll just play this continuously. That's why you got to try every option, me friend, because you'll be learning some of these things, mate. This is what I was saying, mate. Let's see if it does it. Let's see if it does it. It's not going to do it. Listen, watch, right here. Yo, mate, that's the SDHO gods saying, yo, yous had some good ambitions, yous know they want some of the Ableton, yous know yous gotta give them the Ableton before you then give them... No, see, like, you shouldn't be dropping out shit like that when I'm not even doing anything like that. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that, mate. Alright, looks like I'm gonna start using the new computer. Look, 13, I've been seeing so many 13s lately. Okay, what am I gonna do? Try not to piss off the SDHO gods. Basically saying I should just start talking about the things I wanted to talk about. I don't even know if I want to hear this before I start launching into the discussion. This is actually pretty pleasing. I actually really do like the way this sounds. What do you guys think? Like the way this sounds? Sounds kind of good. I can always like pause it, or not pause it, but like when I make if I want like different music. That's why like, I don't really know if I want to like stream, because like I like when I put these things together, I can just like cut this music and then just put whatever other music I want if I get sick of it. So yeah. Should we start talking about things now? I actually really like this sound. And so like basically just to sum up, this is what we got. This is that sound we got from Collision. And when you like throw it in a sampler, you can like repeat a thing, have it play forever, and it's pretty nice. I'm gonna delete this, and why are you clicking? Why are you clicking like that? Why is you be clicking, mate? Mate. I actually really do like this. Just want to get like something nice to listen to. Warp. Well, good to know you're working all weird and slow and stuff. I'll always put it on loop. I have the warp set to repitch because I like that. And then I can scroll the BPM to take it down. I'm going to activate pull 8. Take out those highs. Actually, oh mate, I'd rather use the Autofilter. Actually, no, I want it more slope, so I don't want that. Let's do the channel EQ, maybe we want that. It's kind of loud, mate. I could like modulate some of these. Why does it still seem like there's a lot of high-end stuff? We could do some modulating there, but I just don't really care that much right now. Yeah, I think I'm probably done doing Ableton forever. Yo mate, it took him to the SDHO 100 for him to realize that he don't want to do the Ableton no more. He just want to talk about the future. Yo mate, you gotta know about the future, or the future gonna kick you in the ass. It still has too much high frequencies, and it's freaking me out. I don't want those fucking... Oh man. How are you doing? Have you guys been using AI at all? If you haven't, if you use like Instagram, like Meta has its Meta Llama in there, and you can just like have it generate art. It actually generates really good art. Pretty much all the AI generated art that you've seen me do is mostly from that. Also, if you use WhatsApp, which is also another Meta company, it's like the same Llama AI, and it makes really good art. Like it makes like the art that like a 3D computer graphics artist would make. Like, it's very three-dimensional. Whereas, like, ChatGPT, the art looks like, it's like it all looks kind of the same, you know? Like, you'll probably see so many, you'll see so many, like, thumbnails on YouTube of, like, art that's generated by ChatGPT. You can kind of just tell if you use it a lot. And then, like, using X, Twitter, you know, it's grok, its images suck. But I really like using ChatGPT to, like, talk to it and have it, like, answer questions for me. And I also really like Grok for that as well on X, Twitter. It's really great too, because, like, when you're on X and someone posts something, someone tweets something, you can then hit, like, the Grok button and then it will explain it if you needed the explanation. And I follow a lot of, like, economic, financial stuff. And so, like, some of it is, like, not very clear cut and dry when they talk about, like, rising yields and how that puts pressures on the markets and things like that. It's really great to, you know, get that stuff. But I do like the image generation stuff from, like, Meta's Llama. It's pretty interesting. You really need to use this stuff. You really need to use it because it gives you an idea of, like, how good it is. And then your mind can extrapolate. Then your mind can, like, extrapolate and be like, oh, if it can do this, then it can do that, and then it can do that. So that's why I'm, like, trying to, like, tell my whole family to, like, use it. And they don't really seem to want to. You know, I don't know. I'm very much like the future, you know, seer of the family. But I don't know, man. I mean, anything that has the ability to, like, disrupt life and the way things have been can be, like, very disheartening and kind of scary for people, you know? And, like, they might not want to know about that, you know? If you tell someone who's got kids in high school, like, yo, there's not going to be any jobs in 3 years. You know, people don't really want to hear about that, and I get that. So then why the hell would I be so interested in that, you know? And why should you be so interested in that and not fearful of it? By the way, I think this might be my last Ableton video ever. I, like, don't care. I just want to talk about shit. Yo, mate, that's because you is changing, and that is good. I will support you, Gemini. It's all good, mate. And if you come across the pond to the UK, mate, I'll be the first person buying you a pint. I'll tell you that much. That'll be very nice. Although I am trying to stop drinking beer, and it's very hard. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to do it. This sounds really good. This was something I made. So anyways, past couple of shows I've been talking a bit about AI and how it's going to, in very short time, It's going to get rid of all the jobs. No one's going to have to work a job. What's a job? I don't really like to call it a job anymore. I like to refer to the concept of a job. I like to refer to it as what I actually think it is, or what I believe it is, which is labor. And actually, if you are into economics and stuff, that's what it's called. It's labor. What does labor mean, and why do I like to use that word labor? Because I feel like I think that's more true to what it actually really is rather than a job. Like, you have a job to do. You do this, you do that. It's a job to do. But what really is labor? Labor is like, it's almost like implied that you're laboring. Like a thing that needs to happen. There needs to be labor. You need to labor to get the thing done. But what if something else could labor? You know what I mean? Robots. By the way, they're already making them. In fact, the figure robots are already, they're humanoid robots that are in BMW manufacturing plants. By the way, no one should be working a manufacturing job in a factory. It's freaky, dude. This guy popped up on my YouTube timeline, and his videos were all about like, hey, I work at a factory. I hate my life. And he like set up his camera, his phone, and was like, this is what I do all day. And some people will do this for the rest of their life. And like, this machine would like deliver a big gear, and then he would like take the gear and then plop it on this like turntable looking thing, and then he would like turn it and lock it in place, and then it would like move off, and then it would deliver another gear, and he would take it, and he was like, yo, this is all I'm fucking doing all day, is taking a big gear, putting it down, turning it, it goes to the... A robot should be doing that. Yeah, but what if, like, automation could handle all of that? I personally think the way things have been to just enslave humanity, to have us working to keep this thing in motion for, like, the 13 families or whatever that own everything. You know, it's about control. It's about creating, like, class division, haves and have-nots, to keep this perpetually enforced cultural illusion of scarcity and competition and lack. It keeps you relegated to a low frequency of fear, and you're able to be controlled when you're in fear and you're not able to reach your full potential. So no, I think you should be able, and I was telling someone this the other day, I was like, you know, we're called a human being for a reason. We should be able to be human being, not a human doing. Hey, you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be answering the phone. You're supposed to be helping with the customer complaints. You're always supposed to be doing. And not only that, you're supposed to be doing for someone else. You're supposed to be helping them move the needle of productivity so the shareholders can get rich. You're just an economic unit that needs to all be automated. AI, automation. So then someone goes, yo, mate, then how do we, you know, pay the people the money so they can live and to survive and shit. How the hell does yous be doing that shit? Universal basic income. But as we'll see, it'll go from universal basic income to universal basic equity, which means that we all will end up owning all of society. Everyone will own all of society, and it'll be like airdropped into your like crypto wallet where everything is like, you know, on chain and tokenized, and then you can choose to do what you want to do with it, but like you will own a part of the community that you're in, and so all of the wealth will be redistributed. And I'm telling you guys, that's going to be coming within 2 to 3 years, maybe 2 years. I think things are going to go really fucking quick. What are you going to do with all of this newfound time on your hands? Yo, mate, with all of this new time on me hands, I'm gonna like, you know, hang out with me girlfriend, me Julie, and I'm gonna like, you know, we're gonna be fighting all the time, but at least we won't have to go into our stupid jobs, so that's gonna be good. But we're gonna be like yelling at each other all day. You won't even have to do that anymore. Something tells me the reason why we're so quick to anger, quick to tension, quick to feeling upset about things is because like we can't just live, we can't just be, we can't just truly be a human being. And because of that, we're sort of like it's like we're living like an artificial life. But if you told someone these things, they'd be like, oh, well, good luck doing that, you know, like, gotta pay the bills. What if there weren't bills? What if everything was like just automated, you know? And what if like because you're a human being born onto this planet, onto this world, that you're able to just be here. You can do whatever you want. And so if you're like, you know, this is like very interesting, I want to learn more about it, I want to open up my AI, I want to open up my ChatGPT, and I want it to tell me more about this, what's a keyword that I could put in, and what it's called. And I follow a lot of these people on X, and they're all using this term, and I do think it's the right term. It's called post-labor economics. So what are the economics of the world post-labor, when no one has to labor? And so we're moving from the age of scarcity to the age of abundance. And it's so crazy because we've been viewing ourselves by like our status, which is related to like the job we do, which relates to our identity, you know, what social class we belong. Oh, I'm upper middle class, I'm lower middle class, I'm poverty class, I'm whatever. And that's all related to what you do, but that's not who you are. And then what do you do when all of that is removed? You know, you can do anything. Imagine like waking up on a Monday morning and you sleep as long as your body needs, and you go, this feels good. You pick up your phone. Oh, my friend just messaged me, and he says, hey, what time you stopping by? I'm excited to go drive up north to that lake house we rented. And I'm like, oh, hey, okay, I'll be over in 2 hours. By the way, did you check the price of Bitcoin? Looks like it's up about 10% today. pretty incredible. The entire supply dried up. We're about to go to the moon. And the guy's like, yeah, I know. I took my monthly stipend of my universal basic equity and I sold the railroad funds that came in from the railroad in my town and from the automation of the gas pipelines, and I swapped it for Bitcoin on the DEX, and I'm feeling pretty good and I'm so excited, and I'm really excited for us to drive up to the lake house, and I can't wait to just talk about things that excite me, and we don't have to worry about anything, and no one is trying to siphon our energy from us, and there's no stupid micromanager whipping the fucking chain on us. And isn't it great that we can just live? And I don't want to freak any of you out. It's just I don't know, man. I always thought, and I'm pretty old. I'm seriously getting up there in age, guys. I'm getting old. I'm not getting that old, but I'm getting pretty damn old. I'm about to be at the end of my 30s. Good age. Good age, not a bad age. I wouldn't want to be in my 20s. Although, what even is the 20s anymore? Now everyone has access to all the information in the world. So, it doesn't matter what age you are. You can understand and everything, everything's at your fingertips now, which is good. So, I want you guys to not be scared of the future. I don't want you to be nervous and clinging on to some job that you hate because you're how would I live otherwise? It's going to come for all jobs. And I really think we're going to see by the end of this year, 2025. I think we're going to see it. I've got some AI predictions for you guys for this year. I wrote them down. Because I'm always writing this shit down. So, this is gonna be the proliferation of AI agents. Agents meaning they do everything. So the agent could literally use my computer and do shit in Ableton. It could do anything on my computer. It could book a hotel and a flight. At some point before the end of the year, we will be having a serious conversation about the large number of jobs that have been lost due to AI. So at some point of this year, maybe the end, I don't know, it will be these jobs are gone, they're kaput. Should we talk about this now? That will happen. AI, robotics entering the workforce in a measurable way. What does it mean, measurable way? Meaning it's not oh yeah, there's some AI robots at the BMW plant. It's oh no, we can measure this. It's pretty big, it's pretty measurable. That will happen. At some point, AI will do something that makes everyone step back and say, is AI sentient? Meaning it will do something, say something, all of the above, and will be yo, this thing is, we've created a new intelligence, consciousness. This isn't just a thing that does a thing. Is this alive? Is this sentient? We will start discussing and contemplating more about what is consciousness, and AI will have people considering spirituality and its implications a lot more. Sorry, I didn't write that as well as I should have. What I mean to say by that is, if all of a sudden, going back to the previous point, if all of a sudden we're like, oh my god, is this conscious? Is this sentient? Which they're already talking about that and have been. It will then ask a question within us like, well, what is consciousness? AI operates differently depending on who's programming it. So could someone have been programming us through our DNA, through our consciousness, whatever? And then it will open up more discussions about consciousness. What is consciousness? The tie into spirituality, questioning all these things, advancing to human consciousness. And then this last one, I do believe by the end of the year 2025, AI will achieve something that will absolutely blow everyone's mind, like a new form of energy abundance or something similar. You know? Like, it will do something. So, like, okay, so I was, apparently, what's been making the rounds on AIX is that, like, AGI has already been achieved, and we're damn near close to ASI. AGI is Artificial General Intelligence, which basically means it's like... Which basically means, like, it's as smart at, like, the average human at everything, a polymath. And then ASI is Artificial Superintelligence, which basically means, like, it can perform every single thing better than any human being, to the point where you would never, ever need to even consider using a human being for anything. And there's all these they don't matter. They're just things to, like, you know, say, but just to give you a general idea. But, yeah, it's gonna create something by the end of this year. So, okay, now I remember what I was gonna say. So, like, they were like, you know, the most advanced models right now, they're going to be creating not just, like, the answers to all of the problems we have as society and fixing them, but they're even going to create new alternative means of, like, physics. So, like, they'll probably be creating, like, anti-gravity and all kinds of other shit. Like, we have no idea. And to be honest, be excited about it, guys. And if you're worried or triggered, you know, like, maybe that just has to do with our conditioning. All we know is what we've experienced thus far living here. Like, I was born in the mid-'80s. Yeah, I'm really fucking old, okay? I wouldn't want to be any younger, okay? I'm just glad I'm not, like, in my 50s or 60s or something. Then I would be kind of upset. I can deal with being in my late 30s. I can deal with that. I would probably look a lot younger if I didn't drink beer all the time. But whatever, like, get off my back. I'm not perfect, okay? We all have to make our own decisions and get through this weird matrix until we can finally break free. And you break free with your consciousness. Consciousness is expanding. It's not just tech and AI. I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoyed this SDHO 100. I'm gonna feel like a asshat if it turns out this wasn't SDHO 100, but I think it is. I don't think I'm actually going to do any more Ableton unless I feel like very inspired to do so. I think I'm just going to create like a completely different like stream, whether I actually live stream or if I because I like to like, in fact, that's actually like the way I finish my art. By the way, have you guys been like looking at my art at all? Like, that would, I was about to say that would mean a lot, but I wouldn't want anyone to like do a thing that they like didn't want to do unless like they felt like inspired to do so. So like I wouldn't want someone to like look at my art because they think that it's making me happy. I would rather than be like, oh, I like to look at this because it makes me feel good. But yeah, I like making these like, because like the way I make my art, I make it in like Final Cut Pro, which is like a video editor that's very robust, which is what you would use if you were on like an Apple on a Mac. But like that's how I would obviously make my videos. So you can like make art with your videos just like you can make art like you would make art, digital art. You know, I always have like the Ableton background. But I think like I'm gonna create like something new, whether I'm like streaming or live streaming. I think I'm just gonna talk about things that I like. Maybe I'll do it on another channel, maybe I'll do it on here, maybe I'll take my time with it, because as I've always said, even with like the SDHO stuff, I've always said, you know, like, I only come on when I'm excited to talk. And that's why I haven't been on in like 3 or 4 weeks. Like, I just haven't really not known what to talk about, but like, I haven't really felt like that, like, inspired to, say anything, really. I've been going through my own stuff. Hope you guys are okay. We're gonna have fun. I think Ableton may be coming to an end, although I am actually quite excited based on the fact that I have all of these projects that I've never screwed around with, and I kind of want to just like make music from them and then like add them to my you know, future streams. I'm excited about the future. I hope you guys are excited about the future. Hopefully I didn't trigger anyone. I kind of want everyone to know, if they watch anything that I make, that like, I'm a talker, I'm a Gemini. It may seem like what I say, I'm trying to convince you of something, but I'm not trying to convince you of something. I'm a very like purposeful talker. Like, I'm talking because I really want to say a thing, which can come across like I'm trying to convince someone. And people don't like being, you know, convinced of something, and that's not what I'm trying to do. So I think what I want to try to tell people who, and maybe I'll use this as like a disclaimer when people watch my videos or my streams or whatever, is like, if you feel triggered by anything I say, like, please just respectfully turn it off and just don't watch. Because like, if I'm on here trying to talk about something, you know, it's because I feel like what I'm able to share and communicate can be of benefit. So it's almost like I'm delivering a stream of consciousness, giving you a download, and that download is either going to be very beneficial to you, or maybe it's not. Maybe it triggers you, and in which case, tune it out. It's like a buffet. If you go to the buffet and you put a bunch of oysters and clams on your plate, and you think, ooh, I wonder if I like oysters and clams, and then they taste like shit, you're not going to yell at the restaurant. You're going to go, well, it's a buffet, you know. Guess I don't like these weird-ass things. And then maybe you'll get some mac and cheese, and maybe you'll get some dumplings, and maybe you'll get some mashed potatoes. You know? You were given something new, You didn't like it. It didn't resonate, but that's okay. So, anyway, I hope you're doing well. This has been a very enjoyable experience for me. It has solidified for me that I really think I just want to talk about things that are inspiring about the future. I have Aquarius in my 3rd house. For all of you astrology fans out there, the 3rd house, which is ruled by Gemini, because Gemini is the 3rd sign of the zodiac. The 3rd house, ruled by Gemini, is the house of communication. I have Aquarius fully occupying my 3rd house, and Aquarius is all about the future. It's about technology, AI. It's about the out there, the outer realm, aliens. It's one of the coolest. It's one of the only astrology signs I would prefer to be over Gemini. I wouldn't prefer to not be Gemini because I don't know what it would be like, but like, it's a very cool sign. We're moving into the age of Aquarius, mate. And so like, I'm excited. I'm excited about a new chapter. I can't believe I've made 100 of these. It's late January of 2025. I think the first SDHO was made either late January of 2022, so 3 years ago, or maybe it was like February, but it's been 3 years. And I want to do a lot of fun things. I haven't done any sort of like digital art, like computer graphics stuff. I might want to do some of that, but I also might want to just keep talking about this stuff, like the future, and like the future's going to be so good. And yeah, be excited. Be very excited. Dude, I can't believe that, like, when I was, like, doing all the Ableton stuff today with you guys, kept like, shitting out like that. That's some bullshit. It was, like, right when I upgraded my Apple software, which I hate doing that. It's every year. Ever since I updated last year, it's all he was doing. I was like, I can't believe that shit. I do have a new computer, but I don't want to use a new computer when I'm like drinking beer and stuff, you know, just in case any weirdness happens. Anyways, guys, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're excited, and just know that I'm going to be bringing you some cutting edge shit. So many exciting things to get excited about. You're finally going to be able to be free. That's all I care about, is being free. But not me being free. Everyone being free. That's our birthright. We've been playing an old game on the planet, and now is the time to start playing the new game. The new game is here. Be excited. And if you're not excited because you don't feel good, you feel heavy, you hate your job, you don't want to go into the work in the morning, until we transition to that new age, just find something that you like, something that you care about, something that you're interested in doing, learning more about, and let that be your anchor when things get tough. Because that's what Ableton was for me. I started using Ableton in 2013. And whenever life got heavy for me, which happened all the time, I mean, how could it not? I would see Ableton, I would see music in my mind, and it made me excited. And it's like I used it to help me. I used it as like a foothold. So, do whatever you can. Feel good, me friend. Let's get ready for the age of Aquarius. Let's go.
Chunky? What do you gotta tell people, Chunky? What are you doing there, Chunky? What did you find out in there, Chunky? You have to tell us something, Chunky. What's going on in there, Chunky? That's a good boy, Chunky. He's good.